It's nearly midnight, you're home alone, and a pizza delivery guy shows up at your door. But he doesn't just hand over the pizza and leave, he lingers, staring a bit too long, asking strange questions, and then casually mentions details about your life he shouldn't know. You think it's over once he drives off, until the messages start coming in from an unknown number saying he's watching you through the window. By the end of that night, I was ready to call the cops. Here's how it all went down. I still can't believe this happened, but hey, here I am, alive to tell the tale. Last winter, I was craving some pizza on a cold, snowy night. I placed an order with this new pizza joint that had just opened up down the street. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a large pepperoni with extra cheese. But an hour later, when there was still no sign of my food, I started feeling a little antsy. I tried calling the restaurant to check on the order, but no one picked up. Just as I was about to give up, I got a text. It was a number I didn't recognize. "Your pizza will be there soon. Just a couple of minutes." Relieved, I kept an eye out for the delivery guy. When he finally arrived, I opened the door expecting the usual handoff, but the guy just stood there. He was grinning, holding the pizza box, but there was something off. His eyes didn't match his smile. They were dark, unblinking, just staring. "Nice place you got here," he said, still not moving. It caught me off guard because, well, delivery guys usually just leave. I managed an awkward laugh, trying to be polite, but then he stepped a little closer, still holding the box, and started asking about my neighbors, my name, even how many people lived in the building. My stomach dropped. I stammered a thanks, gave him the money, and tried to close the door, but his foot stopped it. He leaned in closer, whispering, "You know, you really should lock your door at night." Then, he just stepped back and walked off, whistling. I closed the door, locking every bolt, my heart racing. A few minutes later, I got another text from that same unknown number. "Sleep tight." As the minutes passed, I tried to calm myself, telling myself he'd probably just moved on to his next delivery. But as the night dragged on, I noticed headlights flashing briefly in front of my window, then disappearing. At first, I thought it was random traffic, but around 1 a.m., I caught a glimpse of that same white car driving past slowly, like he was looking for something or someone. Every so often, the car would park at the corner, engine running, and then vanish, only to reappear an hour later. I shut off all the lights, trying to make it look like no one was home. My phone buzzed again. A message from an unknown number. "Why'd you turn the lights off? I can still see you, you know." I froze. I hadn't told him where I lived, hadn't given him any information beyond my name and order details. But here he was practically camping out in front of my house. The sense of dread that had settled over me turned to pure panic. I tried calling the restaurant, but it was closed. I called the non-emergency line, giving the police every detail, but they said they couldn't send someone unless he was an active threat. Around 4 a.m., just as the sky was beginning to lighten, he pulled into my driveway. He got out, circled my car, his footsteps crunching along the gravel as he muttered to himself. Just then, the beam of a flashlight hit him. One of my neighbors, a retired officer who heard the noise and had come out to investigate. The guy took off instantly, running back to his car and speeding down the road. The next morning, I called the restaurant, demanding an explanation. They told me he was fired a week ago but had kept the uniform and had been doing side deliveries on his own ever since. I don't know what his intentions were, but the thought of that stranger lingering outside my home, watching, waiting, still haunts me.